everybody. Welcome to the college football edition of Proline. Three of us to talk some college gridiron action. This week I'm Dave Cokin, Chirimbes. The big play man is here. Mr. Megabucks and Big Al McMordie as well from Big Al Sports. And before we kick off the actual game talk, guys, let's let everybody know what we've got going for the second big week of college football action. And hopefully everybody got off to a great start. Big Al, what's happening with you?
Well, I've got a very special offer, Dave. You know, I've been in the business now 21 years, and to celebrate, the first 21 callers get the next 5 days of all my big plays for just $15. You go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. There are games every day, football and baseball. Sign up today. You'll get a high roller baseball play as a free bonus. Call 866-841-1665. That's 866-841-1665.
If the service is 21 years old now, did you take it out for dinner and drinks? It can legally, it can visit a casino now. No response. Jesus, my jokes are falling apart. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Jokes are as flat as the Red Sox.
You can just get out after Aldo. All right, Chip. This is a dynamite offer. You're offering the entire rest of the month for what works out to about, it's less than $1 a day. It is literally less than $1 a day. And that's got high roller plays involved as well.
You know, Dave, we got off to a great start in NFL football in the preseason. We hit 67%. Opening week now in college football, we went 5-2. Our top plays in the NFL went 5-1. We've got it all there for you, and you can get all my Megabuck plays for the entire month of September. College and pro action for only $20. This is going to be one of the biggest steals of the season. Get on these week numbers early. Give me a call. Let's make some money together. It's only going to cost you $20 to get involved. Megabuck play Saturday, Megabuck play Sunday. You don't want to miss either of those, and you're going to have it for the entire month for only $20. Give me a call at 866-841-1665. You'll be glad you did. $20. Come on now, we're going to make more than that the first day. 866-841-1665. Give me a call. You'll be glad you did.
I occasionally like to just put all my eggs in one basket. If I've got a game that I think is that strong, I'm going to unload on it. And I am doing that this weekend. I had a good first week in college football with my two big sides were Nebraska and Troy. No problem there. I lost my total. And, it's easy to sit and make excuses, but this time I'm entitled to. The bottom line is, did it win? No. Look, it was Minnesota UNLV under like 51.5, 52. 13-13 at the end of regulation. You can't call a game better than that. And if you watch the game, you know what happened. 3 overtimes later, and 31 points, the game went over. Horrible beat. They're going to happen, though. And here's the thing, is it still turned out to be a winning week on the big plays because the Nebraska and the Troy got there. One huge game on Saturday. I absolutely love this game. Look, one thing you'll never hear me say is, this line's off by 2 touchdowns. There's no such thing as a game where the line's off by 2 touchdowns. The odds makers aren't that stupid. But there are games early in the season where the line's off by 3 or 4 points, and I think this is one of those games. This is a huge value spot. I think the favorite rolls in this game, and you're not laying that much. Get this game. It's my college game of the month. It's $25. It's completely guaranteed, or the rest of the month is free, college and pro. And all you need to do is make one phone call, 1-866-896-1629. That's 1-866-896-1629. All right, let's get into it. And we got a rivalry showdown. To start things off, Chip, Iowa at Iowa State. They're both winners last week. Iowa managed to beat a MAC team. And Iowa, the MAC's not that bad, so it's not an insulting comment. And Iowa State with an impressive win over Tulsa. Good matchup here, and this is big for these two teams.
You know, Dave, one of my few losers was against Iowa State last week. I thought Tulsa being a favorite at Iowa State was the side. I misread that line in that game. Iowa State wins easy, 38-23. Iowa wins but does not cover. Now, this series goes to the Cyclones. 11 covers in the last 14 games. They just keep 6 out of the last 7. They just keep coming at this team, particularly when they were in Ames. But the way it came from last week to this week, I think that Iowa having the revenge off of last year's triple overtime loss is the side here. I think I'm going to go with the Hawkeyes. I know I'm really urinating into the wind, Dave, but I'm going to have to take Iowa over Iowa State because all the trends and all the numbers, and I'm sure Alex is going to support me on this. They all come up on Iowa State. Am I right, Al? I mean, that's the way it looks.
No, they don't all come up on Iowa State, but I agree with you, Jeff. I like Iowa State in this, or I like Iowa in this ball game as well against Iowa State. Last year I had a big play on the Cyclones. They won 44-41 in one of the most exciting games of the entire season. After pulling that upset in week 1 as a 1.5-point home dog against Tulsa, Iowa State falls into a terrible situation in week number 2. One of the things I like to do in week 2, especially when it's non-conference games, is go against a team off an upset win at home in week 1, provided that team is not getting more than 18 points in their second game. Since 1980, the system has clocked in at 71%, including a perfect 12-0 against the spread, when that team we're going to play against is priced from plus 3.5 to plus 11.5 points. I'm going to take the Hawkeyes here to avenge that loss last season.
I think there are two programs that are going in different directions. Paul Rhodes is doing an outstanding job at Iowa State. I think Kirk Ferentz has gotten stale at Iowa, and I don't think you're going to have a very good year in the Big Ten, whatever division they're in. Legends and leaders. If they went north and south, I'd figure it out better. But the problem is that the number here reflects the public opinion on these two teams, that Iowa State's kind of a program on the rise and Iowa isn't. Because Iowa State's rarely been favored in this series over the years. In fact, you go back a little way, they were big underdogs every year because Iowa was a top-notch program and the Cyclones were horrible. The odds makers have taken the value out of this for me as far as the sides go. I don't want to lay points. I still think Iowa's got better football players than Iowa State. I think the Iowa State coaching staff might be superior, and that can make a big difference. But I think we saw a taste last year of what we might see again this year, which is playbook wide open. Let's go have some fun. Neither one of these teams is going to be big nationally, and that makes this game more important, I believe, to both squads than maybe it was at one time. I think it's always been big to Iowa State because they were the underdog school in the conference. Iowa had bigger fish to fry, if you will. They were trying to get a Big Ten title, or at least in the picture for something along those lines. They're not now. And I think this is a game where the playbook's going to be wide open. They had a game last year that was just insane, and I can see another high-scoring game here. I think Iowa and Iowa State go over the total. Before we get to Washington, LSU, we're going to go to our man in the street. That's Jeff Saad from Las Vegas Sports Services. LVSS, he has a free pick on an NFL total going on Sunday, plus a terrific September football special. Jeff, take it away.
Thanks, Dave. I have a free total coming up on Sunday. First, you can get the rest of September college and pro football from LVSS for only $25. That's 3.5 weeks of action, including a high roller college release going Saturday. Over 3 weeks of action for $25, including that high roller. Just call 1-866-575-8916. Let's take a look at the Colts and Bears matchup. Andrew Luck is the real deal, learning the playbook and impressing his coaches and fellow players. The coach took care of the offense, retaining Reggie Wayne and drafting Luck's tight end at Stanford, Kobe Fleener. They also ran an attacking up-tempo offense in preseason, but the Indy defense is awful along with lack of depth. They will struggle all season. They face a Bears passing offense that has improved with a healthy QB Jay Cutler and new wide receivers Brandon Marshall and rookie Ashlon Jeffrey. This is a low total, but look for a shootout. Play the Colts Bears to go over the total in Week 1. Once again, get the rest of September college and NFL for only $25 plus a Saturday high roller. Just call 1-866-575-8916. Back to you, Dave.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Knock 'em dead this weekend. Well, here we go. Heading down to Baton Rouge for football action. The Washington Huskies, the team having to make the cross-country journey to face LSU. LSU loses Honey Badger. It's certainly a big blow to them because he's a tremendous special teams player. He led the team in tackles. It's a big loss, but anybody who thinks that LSU will be substantially weaker because of this, forget about it. They've got guys coming out of the woodwork down there who can run ridiculous times. They're good football players, and this team doesn't lose games at home. I think the SEC despite the fact there's some great teams and we know that they're going to have a tight conference race, I think it's a league where at the top of the league, and you saw it last week, they love to make statements against teams from other conferences that they have a chance to beat. Now, Auburn didn't get it done against Clemson, but Clemson's probably, I think, the better team. But you saw what Alabama did to Michigan. They were ready for that game. They wanted that game. I'm not saying they wanted it more than Michigan, but they certainly were extremely well prepared for that contest. Here's the other half of that dynamic duo in the SEC. LSU is still one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the country. Playing at home, what an atmosphere that is. It's just plain nasty. You do have to pay for it in the price. There's no bargains on LSU. Nevertheless, they are good enough to put a pounding on a lot of teams. I think LSU actually is going to be better offensively this year than they were a year ago. They've got more confidence in this quarterback, and I think you'll see them incorporate more passing into the attack. The defense is going to be ridiculous once again. Too much speed for Washington, and I don't see the Huskies having a running game that's going to be necessary to really get something done on a consistent basis here. I like their quarterback, but not sold that they can replace Chris Polk, who's not there anymore. I don't see it being close. I think Washington can hang around for a little while, Chip, but I think eventually this is going to turn into a romp. LSU minus the points for me.
Dave, I agree with you, and particularly because of the way LSU just walked through the game against North Texas. North Texas really smacked them around a little bit. I know they were 43-point favorites, and they did score 41 points, and they won the game. But I think Washington's in trouble here. They're 106th in the nation in defense last year, giving up 37 points per game. This is a hostile environment to play in. Unless you're a Class A type school to come in here when this team wants to play. And I think Saturday, them playing Washington's a national club. They're going to be ready. I think LSU's the side. I agree with you. I don't even think this is going to be close. I think that the Tigers' defense is just going to hammer them, and they're going to pound them. And I think that LSU is the side, and I think this is an easy win for the Tigers.
Well, I'm going to look at the Huskies here. Last week they failed to impress at home. They won 21-12 as a 16.5-point home favorite against the Aztecs of San Diego State. Now, a lot of folks might shy away from Washington after that uninspiring home performance in week 1, but I wouldn't do that. Consider that unrested road underdogs of 9 or more points that failed to cover the spread as a home favorite in week 1. Those teams going back to 1980 are 38-15, including a perfect 18-0 against the spread when priced from plus 18.5 to plus 30 points. If they're not going into revenge, I like the Huskies.
That's some strong stuff, no question about that. Best bets, can talk about any game. I will throw out the Iowa State game because I do think this is going to be a game where both coaches try and do anything they can to get in the end zone. Look, the total's not that high. To me, there's decent value here. I like Iowa and Iowa State over the total. Chip?
I got the same game, Dave, but I think Iowa's the side. We gave you all the stats, all the numbers, which indicate we should be on Iowa State. But there's other factors to consider, and Al mentioned them before. I think Iowa gets the revenge here. I like Iowa over Iowa State.
How about you, Al?
I like the Huskies plus the large number against Louisiana State. I just think that, yes, LSU kind of slept to walk through their performance. So did Washington. Both teams probably looking ahead. I like the Huskies here plus that large number.
And let's stay with you, Al, and let everybody know about what amounts to a 21st anniversary special.
That's right, Dave. If you're one of the first 21 people in the door, you get 5 days of all my big plays for just $15. And if you call, you'll also get a high roller baseball play as an absolutely free bonus. Call toll free 866-841-1665. Football and baseball, 5 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, just $15. You get the high roller baseball play too. First 21 people in the door, 866-841-1665.
There are very few things you can get these days for less than $1 a day. I really can't think of any, to tell you the truth. I'm serious. Well, here's one. You can get the rest of September from Chirimbes for less than $1 a day. Right, Chip?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that includes all our megabuck plays and premier plays. Like I said, we were 67% in the preseason in the NFL. We're 5-2 right now in college football. We've got it clocked. We had Alabama big over Michigan to close out Saturday night. And we're going to have more of the same for you. $20 for the whole month of September. You can't beat it. Get on board. Give me a call, 866-841-1665. You'll be glad you did, because you're going to get a lot of my other plays to go with it, not just the Megabuck winners. I have a big one Saturday and another one on Sunday, so don't miss out. Give me a call, 866-841-1665.
With all the great games on the weekend, look, I like to splash and have some fun and get involved in some games, but it's deadly serious on the big plays. Did very well with those last week, 2-1, and I explained about how ridiculous that total loser was. So, legitimately from a handicapping standpoint, I felt like I was a perfect 3-0. It was brutal, but it can only get better, right? And it was a good week anyway. Yeah. But now we get to the one big game this week. And there's one that stands out. College game of the month. It's guaranteed. $25 gets you the game. You got to get the money, or you get the rest of September free. And the way to get it for $25, the only way to get it, is to call the office, 1-866-896-1629. This game will be online, but not for $25. So if you want to save the money and put it in a better place, like your pocket, make sure and make the call. Get the guaranteed college game of the month, 1-866-896-1629. That's it for this edition of Proline. Guys, we will I had so much fun. I think we ought to do it again next week. And we'll invite everybody who's watching back to join us as well. For Al, for Chip. Before I forget, don't go away yet. I forgot to mention that Jim Feist has a 5-day football offer, Thursday through Monday night, just $25. You get Jim's Massacre of the Year on Saturday in college football, plus one of his high roller total annihilators. He thinks the totals are soft in the NFL for week 1, and Jim's reputation as a master of the totals goes back more years than I think even Jim wants to admit. Let's just say it goes back a ways. 5 days for $25 with those two big plays. 1-866-841-1655 is the number. 1-866-841-1655. Now I can say, for Chip Chirimbes and Big Al McMordie, I'm Dave Cokin. Thanks for watching Proline. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.